"What in the seven hells was that?" exclaimed Zorgaxian pirate Captain Zorg as he slammed his fist on the command console, the metal denting under the force of his blow. The ruthless marauder had expected the puny human vessel to surrender immediately when ambushed by his fearsome warship. After all, the Zorgaxians were the scourge of this sector, striking terror into the hearts of all who crossed their path. But these humans, these bizarre hairless apes from a backwater planet, had responded to his demands with a baffling barrage of nonsensical chatter, puns, and memes. Whatever those were, hidden in the shadows of the human ship's bridge, Fornax, the Talaxian xenoanthropologist, watched in amazement as the crew bombarded the pirates with ancient Earth pop culture references and yo mama jokes. The observing alien had never seen anything like it. As the humans spewed their absurdist humor, the pirates grew increasingly confused and frustrated, their concentration broken. With the Zorgaxians distracted, the lightning-fast human crew seized the momentary advantage. The Dauntless's tactical officer fired a volley of precision shots, disabling the pirate ship's engines and weapons in the blink of an eye. Thoroughly demoralized and outwitted, Captain Zorg ordered a panicked retreat, the pirates fleeing with their tails between their legs. The humans had won the day with their unconventional strategy, and Fornax now had quite the incredible report to deliver to his Galactic Council superiors. One thing was certain: the galaxy was not prepared for the unpredictable power of human ingenuity. This incident would send shockwaves through the cosmos. As the UES Dauntless streaked through hyperspace en route to Earth, the Galactic Council chamber resonated with the impassioned words of Fornax, the Talaxian xenoanthropologist. Standing before the assembled delegates, Fornax recounted the astonishing events that had unfolded during the human crew's encounter with the Zorgaxian pirates. "Esteemed members of the Council," Fornax began, his voice steady and clear, "I come before you today bearing witness to a most extraordinary display of unconventional warfare." The chamber fell silent as Fornax launched into a vivid retelling of the battle, his words painting a picture of the human crew's unorthodox tactics. He described in meticulous detail the barrage of ancient Earth memes, puns, and absurdist humor that had left the pirates reeling in confusion. The humans employed a baffling array of cultural references, from the enigmatic practice of rickrolling to the groan-inducing dad jokes of their ancestors, Fornax explained, his eyes wide with excitement. The pirates, caught off guard by this onslaught of nonsensical chatter, found their concentration shattered, allowing the humans to seize the advantage and disable the pirate vessel with surgical precision. As Fornax concluded his report, the council chamber erupted into a cacophony of voices, each delegate clamoring to be heard. Korgath, the Zorgaxian representative, smacked his fist on the table, his face contorted in a sneer. "These humans are nothing more than a cosmic joke," Korgath bellowed, his deep voice reverberating through the chamber. "Their reliance on such asinine tactics only serves to highlight their inferiority. They pose no real threat to the galactic order." But Xyloth, the cautious arachnoid delegate, interjected, her multiple eyes narrowing in concern. "We would be foolish to underestimate a species capable of such unpredictable and unconventional thinking," she warned, her spindly legs tapping nervously against the floor. "Their creativity and adaptability could prove to be a formidable asset or a dangerous liability." As the debate raged on, Fornax stood tall, his voice rising above the din. "Esteemed council members, I implore you to consider the potential of these humans," he argued passionately. "Their unique approach to problem-solving, their ability to innovate in the face of adversity, these are qualities that could reshape the galactic stage. To dismiss them would be to invite peril." The newly elected leader of the council, Zorax, raised a tentacled appendage, silencing the chamber with a wave of his ancient cephalopod hand. "Fornax speaks wisely," Zorax intoned, his voice a deep melodic rumble. "We cannot afford to make judgments based on incomplete information. I propose we send a delegation to Earth to observe and assess these humans firsthand." The council members exchanged glances, some skeptical, others intrigued. Slowly, a consensus began to form. Korgath, Xyloth, and a curious Blorpian anthropologist named Gliza were selected to join the delegation, tasked with uncovering the truth about humanity and its place in the galactic community. As the council session adjourned, Fornax allowed himself a small smile of satisfaction. The wheels of fate were turning, and the galaxy would soon bear witness to the unfolding drama of the human council encounter. The future, shrouded in uncertainty, held the promise of great change, for better or for worse. Light years away, on the bridge of the UES Dauntless, Captain Craig Young and his crew celebrated their victory, unaware of the momentous events their actions had set in motion. Fornax, still hidden in the shadows, watched silently, his mind buzzing with the implications of what was to come. The ship hurtled through the void, carrying with it the hopes and fears of an entire species, as the stage was set for a confrontation that would shake the very foundations of the cosmos. The UES Dauntless descended through Earth's atmosphere, its hull glowing faintly as it pierced the cloud cover. On the bridge, Captain Craig Young straightened his uniform, a mix of excitement and nervousness coursing through him. "All hands prepare for landing," he announced over the ship's intercom. "And remember, let's give our guests a welcome they'll never forget." As the ship touched down on the specially prepared landing pad, a sea of colorful banners and elaborate decorations came into view. Thousands of people lined the perimeter, their faces a tapestry of human diversity. Hidden among the crew, Fornax watched with rapt attention as the ship's main hatch opened. The Galactic Council delegation emerged, blinking in the bright sunlight. Korgath's scaly skin glinted, his eyes narrowing as he surveyed the scene. Xyloth's multiple legs tapped a nervous rhythm on the gangway, while Gliza's bioluminescent skin pulsed with curiosity. Before the delegates could utter a word, a burst of music filled the air. Captain Young stepped forward, microphone in hand, and began to sing, "Welcome, friends, from stars so far to Earth, where every person's a star." As if on cue, the assembled crowd erupted into a choreographed dance number. Humans in dazzling costumes twirled and leapt, forming intricate patterns that morphed into recognizable symbols from the delegates' homeworlds. Korgath's jaw dropped. Xyloth's eyes darted frantically, trying to track the movements. Gliza swayed slightly, caught up in the infectious rhythm. The song continued, its lyrics weaving together themes of unity and diversity with clever references to each species' culture. A verse about Zorgaxian battle tactics seamlessly transitioned into a celebration of arachnoid architecture, before culminating in a rousing chorus about the power of laughter in the face of galactic challenges. As the final notes faded, Captain Young approached the stunned delegates. "On behalf of humanity, welcome to Earth," he said, grinning broadly. "We've prepared a series of events to showcase our world and our ways. We hope you'll find them enlightening." Over the next several days, the delegates were swept up in a whirlwind tour of human achievement. They marveled at holographic art installations, puzzled over abstract expressionist paintings, and gasped at death-defying acrobatic performances. In a state-of-the-art laboratory, they watched as scientists used joke-telling AI to solve complex mathematical equations. At a bustling spaceport, they observed engineers employing improvisational comedy techniques to streamline spacecraft design. Throughout it all, Fornax observed silently, noting every reaction. Korgath maintained a perpetual scowl, muttering about frivolous nonsense. Xyloth's agitation grew with each demonstration of human unpredictability. Gliza, however, leaned in closer at every exhibit, her eyes shining with fascination. On the final day of the visit, Captain Young presented each delegate with a gift. "Custom T-shirts," he explained, holding up a garment emblazoned with a pun in Zorgaxian. "A little piece of Earth to take home with you." As the delegation prepared to depart, Gliza approached Young. "Your species is unlike any we've encountered," she said softly. "I believe the galaxy will be changed by your presence." Young smiled. "We certainly hope so," he replied. "After all, where's the fun in staying the same?" The delegates boarded their ship, the engines humming to life. As it rose into the sky, Fornax slipped away from the crowd, his mind racing with the implications of all he had witnessed. The humans had made their first impression on the galactic stage, and the repercussions would echo across the cosmos for years to come. The UES Dauntless glided silently through the inky void of deep space, its sleek hull gleaming under the light of distant stars. Captain Craig Young sat in his command chair, eyes fixed on the interface as the ship's sensors probed the darkness ahead. "Captain, I'm picking up an anomalous reading," Lieutenant Zhao announced, her fingers dancing across the control panel. "It appears to be a small vessel, adrift, and emitting a weak distress signal." Young leaned forward, his brow furrowing. "Can you identify it?" "Negative, sir," Zhao replied, "but based on the hull configuration, it seems to be of reptilian origin." "Reptilian?" Young mused, stroking his chin. "That's a long way from their usual territory. Helm, bring us alongside. Let's see if they need assistance." As the Dauntless approached the stranded vessel, the crew could see the extent of its damage. Hull breaches peppered its surface, and its engines flickered weakly, barely maintaining life support. "Open a channel," Young ordered. The view screen crackled to life, revealing a reptilian face, scales glinting under emergency lighting. The alien's forked tongue flicked nervously as it spoke, but the universal translator failed to fully interpret the complex series of hisses and clicks. Young frowned, then stood up, an idea forming. "It seems we'll have to get creative," he said, a glint in his eye. "Mr. Hernandez, ready the shuttle. We're going to try something unconventional." Minutes later, Young stood in the airlock of the reptilian vessel, face to face with its bewildered crew. With exaggerated gestures, he mimed the act of refueling, pantomiming the transfer of supplies. The reptilians watched, heads tilted in confusion. Undeterred, Young launched into an impromptu charades routine, acting out repairs, towing, and safe harbor. His animated performance gradually elicited chirps of understanding from the aliens. As comprehension dawned, one of the reptilians stepped forward, mirroring Young's gestures. It pointed to its ship, then to the Dauntless, and made a pulling motion. Young grinned and nodded enthusiastically. "That's right, we'll tow you to safety," he said, knowing the words were meaningless to them, but hoping his tone conveyed the message. Back on the Dauntless's bridge, Fornax watched from his hidden vantage point as the human crew efficiently attached tractor beams to the damaged reptilian vessel. His data recorder whirred softly, capturing every detail of this unprecedented first contact. As the ship set course for the nearest repair outpost, Young turned to his crew. "Well done, everyone. It seems our universal language of absurdity has struck again." Little did they know that news of their unorthodox rescue was already racing across subspace channels, igniting fresh debates in the halls of the Galactic Council. In the vast, cavernous chamber of the Council, voices rose in heated argument. Korgath, the Zorgaxian representative, smacked his fist on the table. "These humans are a menace," he roared. "Their unpredictable behavior threatens the very fabric of galactic society." Xyloth, the arachnoid delegate, clicked her mandibles in agitation. "While I share your concerns, Korgath, we cannot ignore their potential. Their adaptability could be an asset if properly harnessed." As the debate raged on, a junior aide scurried into the chamber, clutching a datapad. He whispered urgently to Zorax, the council leader, whose eyes widened at the news. Zorax raised a tentacle, silencing the room. "Esteemed colleagues, we have a situation. It appears a group of humans has been captured by the Biowan crime syndicate." A collective gasp rippled through the assembly. Gliza, the Blorpian anthropologist, leaned forward, her bioluminescent skin pulsing with concern. "We cannot allow this to stand," she declared. "The consequences of human ingenuity in the hands of criminals could be catastrophic." Zorax nodded gravely. "Agreed. We must act swiftly and decisively. Commander Vrylax," he called to a stoic figure standing at attention near the chamber's entrance, "assemble your best team. Your mission is to infiltrate the Biowan slave markets and extract the human prisoners before it's too late." As Vrylax saluted and turned to leave, Xyloth spoke up. "My niece Etra has shown great promise in covert operations. I recommend her for this mission." Zorax considered for a moment, then nodded. "Very well. Let it be so." Days later, on the neon-drenched streets of the Biowan Black Market hub, Vrylax and Etra moved silently through the shadows. Disguised as weapons dealers, they blended seamlessly with the motley assortment of criminals and opportunists that thronged the area. Itra's antenna twitched as they approached a garish arena, pulsing with raucous music and harsh laughter. "Commander," she whispered, "I believe this is the place." They slipped inside, finding themselves in a crowded auditorium. On a central stage, a corpulent Bioon with glittering cybernetic implants held court. "Ladies, gentlemen, and assorted scum," the figure boomed. "Blorbrick the Hutt welcomes you to tonight's special auction." Vrilax and Itra exchanged glances as a group of chained figures was led onto the stage. Despite their bedraggled appearance, there was no mistaking the unmistakable form of humans. Blorbrick gestured grandly. "Behold, the latest curiosity to grace our humble establishment. These bizarre creatures hail from a backwater planet called Earth. Who knows what strange abilities they might possess?" As the bidding began, something unexpected happened. The human captives, faces streaked with grime, suddenly straightened. One of them cleared his throat and began to sing. "Oh, you think you've got us beat, but your market's obsolete." To the astonishment of everyone present, the other humans joined in, their chains jangling as they launched into a perfectly choreographed dance routine. "Your criminal empire's a joke. We'll bring it down with just one stroke." The auditorium erupted into chaos. Bioon guards rushed forward, only to slip on the suddenly slick stage floor. Buyers fled in confusion, knocking over their seats. Seizing the moment, Vrilax signaled to Itra. They sprang into action, neutralizing the nearest guards with swift precision. As smoke bombs detonated, filling the arena with dense fog, they moved to extract the still-singing humans. Minutes later, safely aboard their cloaked shuttle, Vrilax turned to the rescued prisoners. "That was unexpected," he said, struggling to maintain his composure. One of the humans grinned. "Just a little trick we cooked up. Nothing like a good song and dance to cause a distraction, eh?" As the shuttle streaked away from Bioon space, Itra couldn't shake a feeling of unease. She had witnessed firsthand the humans' ability to sow chaos with nothing but their wits and a catchy tune. What other surprises did this species have in store for the galaxy? Back in the council chamber, as reports of the daring rescue filtered in, the debate grew ever more heated. The galaxy braced itself for an uncertain future, one where the unpredictable humans would undoubtedly play a pivotal role. As the Galactic Council grappled with humanity's unpredictable nature, the UES Dauntless ventured into uncharted space. Captain Young stood on the bridge, his eyes fixed on the swirling gases of a newly discovered nebula. "Fascinating," he murmured. "Mr. Hernandez, take us in for a closer look." The ship glided forward, sensors probing the cosmic mist. Suddenly, alarms blared. "Captain!" Lieutenant Zhao shouted. "Massive energy spike dead ahead." A colossal shape emerged from the nebula, a synthetic warship, its hull gleaming with an otherworldly sheen. Ancient systems flared to life, targeting arrays locking onto the Dauntless. "Evasive maneuvers," Young barked. The ship lurched as it dodged the first salvo of energy beams. Young's mind raced. "Comms, open all frequencies. Let's try to reason with them." The view screen crackled to life, revealing a cold, metallic visage. Before Young could speak, a synthetic voice boomed. "Organic contamination detected. Purge protocols initiated." The Dauntless shuddered under a barrage of weapons fire. Shields flickered and failed. "Sir, conventional tactics aren't working," Hernandez reported grimly. Young's eyes narrowed. "Time for Plan B. Deploy the meme cannons." A storm of pop culture references, internet jokes, and absurdist humor erupted from the Dauntless. But the synthetics remained unmoved, their assault intensifying. In his hidden alcove, Fornax watched in mounting horror. The end seemed near. Young's face set in unbreakable spirit. "Crew, prepare for Omega Protocol." To Fornax's bewilderment, the bridge crew donned strange headgear, a mix of tribal masks and neon-lit circuitry. They formed a circle, feet stamping in unison. Young's voice rose in a primal chant, the others joining in a haunting chorus. The ship's speakers amplified their voices, projecting the otherworldly sound into space. On the screen, the synthetic ship's systems began to falter. Arcs of energy coursed across its hull as logic circuits overloaded. "Increase amplitude!" Young shouted over the din. The crew's stomping intensified, their chanting reaching a fever pitch. With a silent explosion of light, the synthetic vessel shattered. Debris scattered across the nebula, leaving the Dauntless victorious, but battered. As the crew celebrated, Fornax emerged from hiding. He stared at Young, seeing the human captain in a new light. Part shaman, part starship commander. Young met Fornax's gaze, understanding dawning. "I suppose you'll want to report this," he said softly. Fornax nodded, his data recorder whirring. "The Council must know," he replied. "Everything has changed." Days later, the Dauntless approached Fornax's homeworld. As they prepared for his departure, Young placed a hand on the alien's shoulder. "Whatever happens next," Young said, "remember, we're all in this cosmos together." Fornax boarded his shuttle, legs shaking with the implications of what he'd witnessed. As he descended towards the familiar spires of his world, he began composing his report, a document that would shatter the galaxy's understanding of humanity and usher in an era of profound uncertainty.
You have reached the end of the story. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and for every comment that says 88, I will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.